Alright guys, I'm the Addict, and today I will be making my recommendations for the 2021 Green Bay Packers, not 2022, 2023, 2021. The Packers, their predictions are going to be a little weird because their quarterback is holding out. Aaron Rodgers is holding out, and I just so happened to do all of the AFC games before I did the NFC games. So there's going to be 5 games on here from the AFC that are going to be with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to change those just yet. I am going to do an updated predictions for every single team. That's what I do every year, and those are going to have Jordan Love as their quarterback unless Aaron Rodgers signs back, which I don't think he will. I don't even think he wants to be on the Packers. I think he wants out of there. I don't even think it has anything to do with the contract. Let's go ahead and start talking about the Packers. So yeah, even with the loss of Jordan Love, their offense is still going to be pretty solid. They have one of the best running backs in the league in Aaron Jones, and they have one of the best wide receivers in the league in Davante Adams. The problem lies with their wide receiver depth. Allen Lazard and MVS aren't very spectacular. They're not the worst in the league, obviously, but they are not great. Allen Lazard is probably maybe a pretty good wide receiver 3, but not a wide receiver 2. They need to get a wide receiver 2. They needed to, and they really didn't do that. Robert Tonyan's a pretty good tight end, so that offense is pretty solid. That defense, that linebacker core, I love. Darnell Savage is a pretty good full safety or free safety, whatever the heck it is. But that defensive line and the rest of their secondary isn't really that great. So I don't like their defense as much as I like their offense. I think their offense was one of the best in the league last year, maybe not the best, but it's up there. But that defense was definitely what was holding them back. They had a whole lot of high-scoring games because their defense was letting up and their offense was on fire. So if they could get that defense up to speed, or maybe some of the young guys they signed or drafted can play really well, maybe the Packers can work it out with Jordan Love on there. But who knows? All right, week 1 they go up against New Orleans, who I think are going to be a bit underrated. They really only lost Janoris Jenkins. That's about it. Oh yeah, Andrew Brees, of course, and a couple other small pieces, but really all their big names are still on there. I mean, Marcus Davenport's still there. They did lose their tight end, but he wasn't that great. I can't think of his name right now, but I'm not gonna go, oh, what's his name? And they still have Michael Thomas. They do still have Alvin Kamara, so they will still have a pretty good team. And Jameis Winston, a year behind Drew Brees, will do him a lot of good. And his decision making should be a lot better. I think he will be a much better quarterback. I think this should be a pretty good game, especially with Jordan Love in there now. But I mean, that New Orleans defense is pretty. I like this New Orleans defense more than I like this Green Bay defense, but I like the Green Bay offense a lot more than I like the New Orleans offense. And I'm going to have to give Green Bay the win here. Even with Jordan Love, I still think they'll get the job done against New Orleans. It'll be close. And by the way, after I do my normal predictions, worst case, best case scenario, that's going to be happening. So stick around to the end. Or if you're weird, skip there. All right, now they have a home game against the Lions. Kind of a little break here. As you can see, 0-5. I don't think they're all that great. They're not terrible, but a downgrade at QB and... what else? Nothing. Oh, yeah, Penei Sewell. I forgot about that. Penei Sewell is going to be a big help on that offensive line and the offense as a whole. So, yeah, the Lions, not going to be terrible, but compared to the Packers, they're probably going to get swept. So don't be surprised if in Week 18 they take the Packers take another win. I was supposed to take another L, but we're not on the Lions predictions. All right, in Week 3, they have an away game against the 49ers. Jordan Love's having a heck of a start to his career already. 2 wins against... admittedly not great teams, but whatever. That New Orleans win is probably pretty impressive. Now they have to go against the 49ers, who I am going to assume that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to start. I don't think he's that bad. I feel like he will start all 18 games, and when I do the 49ers predictions, unless they ship him off to some other team, he will be starting in all of those games in my predictions. Especially in Week 3, there's really no chance of Trey Lance being in this one. I really like the 49ers whenever they are completely healthy. This one will be a pretty good battle. That 49ers offense going against this Green Bay offense is going to be, obviously, they're not going to be going up against each other on the field at the same time, but they are going to be in a battle. So, yeah, I'm making myself sound stupid. This will be a pretty close one. It's just I still like this Green Bay offense more. I think Jordan Love is going to be good. I think he will. I mean, people always, give me crap for talking about a year behind a quarterback. That does a lot of players a lot of good. When you sit behind a good quarterback for a year, which is a long. I mean, the number of practices that he's going to with this quarterback, the number of times that he's sitting down and talking to this quarterback, it does them a lot of good. So I think he will be a pretty good quarterback. I don't think he'll be horrendous, and I think that this will be a pretty solid game. And I'm really conflicted here. This is a hard one. So I'm trying to think. I probably like this Green Bay offense more than the San Francisco offense. It's kind of the same deal as up here. I'm going to have to give it to San Francisco. I'm sorry. I just like that defense too much. I mean, Nick Bosa on there is not going to help the Packers. So I like that San Francisco defense too much to say that they're going to lose to the Packers. Best case scenario, though, it will change. And then week 4, this is a game that I already predicted beforehand, so I'm not even going to go over it. I had a win there and a win there. 2 AFC games. I'm so sorry for not, whenever I do my updated predictions, I mean, maybe that's something you can, look forward to is my more realistic AFC predictions, but this video is already long enough with the pretty long intro I had to do for the special situation the Packers are in. So, yeah, in week 6, an away game against Chicago, which would be, I would have had them sweep Chicago if it wasn't for the Jordan Love thing. But this is where it's probably going to make that big of a difference is when they're going against Chicago. Because Chicago has a pretty good defense, and with Justin Fields on there now, Allen Robinson, Tariq Cohen, they're looking a lot more dangerous. So this should be a pretty good one, and I might actually have them split. So I'll have Chicago win here, and then I'll have Green Bay win here when we get there. So another 4-2, they're looking pretty good, and they have a pretty good game here against Washington. Washington has a pretty good thing that anytime my team has a good defense and they're going up against, especially the new Green Bay Packers without Aaron Rodgers, it's a bit worrying. And Washington is probably a top 3 defense in the league. I've seen a lot of people saying they're the best, and I don't believe that, but believe what you want. Their offense, though, Antonio Gibson had a stellar first season. I think for a while there, he was leading all rookie running backs in touchdowns. And also, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Adam Humphries, and they drafted Dyami Brown. This is going to be a stellar offense. The only thing that's holding them back is offensive line issues and Ryan Fitzpatrick. Although I am now hearing that there is more of a chance that Taylor Heinicke starts. Until that is confirmed, I'm going to assume that it's Ryan Fitzpatrick just because I feel like that's a more realistic option. So I feel like this will be a pretty good one. And, I just like this. That Green Bay defense has too many weaknesses. I'm going to give it to Washington. I'm sorry. It's going to be close. They haven't really had any big losses here, but now they're 4-3. They're kind of slipping. They started off 4-1. They lost 2 in a row. It's not looking great. In week 8, they have an away game against Arizona. And Arizona, they signed a lot of old players. AJ Green and JJ Watt, most popularly. I don't know how to say that. So, it'll be a pretty good game, and I'm going to have to give this one to Green Bay because I just, other than J.J. Watt and maybe Budda Baker, this Arizona defense isn't really good enough to stop the Green Bay offense. So they're 5-3, and this may surprise a lot of people, but in my Chiefs predictions, I had Green Bay win. So I'm sorry. I hope you can tell by the way I'm saying this that it would be different if I had known Jordan Love was going to start. It would be different, okay? And that's their only. I'm mad about that. I don't like making teams go 17-0 or 0-17, but look, the Jaguars and then the Chiefs, it hurts my brain. I like to have kind of a mix. Anyways, in week 10 they have a home game against Seattle. They're back up to 6-3. They had a 2-game skid there, but they're back up and running. They just beat probably the best team in the league in week 9. Now they have a home game against Seattle. And I just can't see them winning this. I like Seattle all around as a team more. And I don't think that it would already have been a good game, but now that you've taken a significant loss at quarterback, it's going to be a loss. All right, now they're 6-4. They've got an away game against Minnesota. And Minnesota, Kirk Cousins is a pretty good quarterback. I think a lot of people seem to forget that he actually is pretty good. I think he's a bit underrated. However, he's not great, and this will be these two teams are pretty similar. They both have better offenses and defenses. They're very similar. I'm probably going to have them split. So, obviously, Minnesota's going to win here, but Green Bay is going to win in Week 17. So, we already know they've got 2 more wins locked in. Now they've got a home game. against the Rams. And this is to stay as a winning. This is to keep a winning record, because if they lose here, they're at a .500 record, and nobody likes that. Well, I mean, a lot of teams would probably love to have a .500 record, but we're not going to talk about that. In Week 12, they have a home game against the Rams, who took an upgraded quarterback, Deshaun Jackson. Man, I love what the Rams did this offseason. They're going to get the win here. And by the way, if you're wondering what that Week 19 thing was, that's playoffs. We don't talk about those yet. They entered into their bye week. They've just lost 3. They're kind of off and on. They had a pretty good start, a little rough skid, 2-game winning streak, looking good, and now they've ended the last part of their pre-bye week season, I guess, with a 3-game losing streak. But as we already know, they're going to get the split this year. They come back off of their bye week. They get a home win against the division rival. They jump back up to a winning record. And again, these might be different if I had known that Jordan Love was going to be starting, but I already predicted them. So, yeah, they swept the AFC opponents, whatever. And now I already said I'm going to have them split here, and I'm going to have them sweep. No, I'm actually think about this, because I mean, that Detroit offense, yeah, I'm going to have them sweep. So, 11-6 would be a lot different. You know what? Whatever. I don't think it really is going to be too stupid. Let's go through and let me just show you. So normally I do worst case and best case scenario. I'm going to do Jordan Love scenario, then worst case and best case scenario, you know? So Jordan Love scenario, the UC game is probably staying the same. This game, they're taking a loss there. And I haven't seen them losing there. Yeah. So with Jordan Love, I might have them go 9-8. But wait, you guys didn't actually see that. That was actually what? That didn't happen. What? 11-6. That's more like it. Looked like it went to 9-8 for a second there. Did you guys see that? I didn't. But that's the worst case scenario, and then we'll end it off on a good note with best case scenario, and that is Jordan Love is pretty good. So this is Jordan Love is a bust. He's not very great. Worst case scenario with the players that they have. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not gonna. Before you even start talking, best case scenario is not gonna be that they re-sign Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that's not no. don't even start. Worst case scenario, they could lose here and here. These two teams probably beat them. Obviously here. Obviously they could lose these two here. And you know what? I could see them. You know what? No, I couldn't. I was going to say I could see them getting swept by both of these, but I just can't see it. 6-11 is as bad as it can get. This is basically Jordan Love is a bust, and MVS keeps on dropping a bunch of close games. All right. Now we get to do best case scenario, guys. Can you believe it? Wow. Best case scenario. I didn't think it actually existed. Let's move all these back. Kind of hurts to make that one a Green Bay win, but we don't talk about that. And back up to 11-6. All right. Best case scenario. They win these. They sweep that. They sweep that. And yeah, that's best case scenario. Those are all the close games basically flipped in their direction. That is Jordan Love goes out there. He plays really great. MVS stops dropping things. And, yeah, 15-2. Oh, wait. Man, it feels really weird because I feel like best case scenario, whatever. In best case scenario, I'm having them lose. 14-3. I'm really sorry, but, it feels this might be the first time. It is the first time in NFL Addict history where I have done best case scenario and had a team lose. And that is just simply because I can't see Jordan Love going out there and playing good enough to beat the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I don't think his best is Aaron Rodgers type levels. All right, let's move these back. There, and there. Is that? Yep, that's back. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry, Packers fans, to disappoint. If you're watching this in, late July, maybe August, if you're watching this then, because I guess you might not be watching it when it comes out, check my channel because, in 15 days, I'll be done with this one. Or 16 days, I'll be done with these predictions. So 16, maybe in a month. So if you're watching this mid-July or something, maybe go check out my channel and see if I posted my updated Packers predictions because then you can see more what it will be like. All right, so their range is from 6-11 to 14-3. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in my next one. I'll be predicting the Chicago Bears record. So if you didn't like me for this for some reason, you think they're going to go 17-0 with Jordan Love, maybe you'll like me better once you watch my Bears predictions. Thank you so much for watching. And again, like and subscribe, do all that. I don't know why you'd watch all. If you're watching all the way to the end, I am now married to you.